Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about
death midwifery.
I get a lot of questions on this, especially it seems like almost every full moon tea and tarot that I do with Charlie Says Go, which if you've been watching my channel, we do live broadcasts around or on the full moon of every month. A few of them we've tapped into my being a certified death midwife. And there's always a lot of questions that come with that. And so I've decided to make a series on that topic. So we can talk about it. We can answer some of the commonly asked questions. Consider this an introduction. Also, if you have any questions that you would like answered, feel free to contact me on chrisashburn.com, C-R-I-S, no H. Send me your questions. I'm listening. Alright, so, death midwifery. First of all, number one thing I get is this reaction. Death. What is that? A death midwife has nothing to do with dying babies, which is one thing that people go to. It has nothing to do with, let's see here, Dr. Kevorkian, for instance. It has nothing to do with, I won't say nothing, but it is not hospice. Put it that way. Hospice are medically trained. They are essentially like a form of a nurse, I guess you could say. Many of them are nurses. And we are not. We are not medically trained. What death midwifery applies to is how someone would act as a midwife or a doula for an expecting mother and help them transition that baby into this world, okay? And help make sure that that mother is aware of her options. She's aware of her rights. They can advocate for the mother in a lot of ways. They provide comfort and a listening ear, someone who's been through it before. And so now take that and apply it to someone who's terminally ill. So death midwife would be someone who acts as a non-medical guide and companion to those who are nearing the end of their life, okay? So I make them aware of their options and their rights. I can advocate for them. And when I say options, I mean anything from helping direct them to where they need to go for like the paperwork they need in order, to grief counselors for the family perhaps, or for that person if they choose to need it. Help make them aware of their options in terms of body disposition, which is what you're going to do with your body. Like, do you want to be cremated? Do you want to be buried? Do you want a funeral? Do you want nothing? Do you want a home funeral? Like, what do you want? Do you want to be sent up with a bunch of dust? There's endless options in terms of body disposition, and I'm sure I'll make a video like just talking about that, period. Let's see here. We also educate them on their rights in terms of funeral homes and things like that. Their rights in terms of the main documents that they need in place, and kind of direct them, if they need, to somebody with more expertise. So in a lot of ways, I'm kind of a crossroad. I like to call myself the Rolodex. You consult the Rolodex, and the Rolodex goes, alright, this sounds like a job for blah, and they bring in the expert. So I'm a hub, but I'm also someone who holds vigil. I help ground and center them. I'm an honest ear, an unbiased ear, because sometimes it's hard for both family and the friend who is passing to talk about it, or to have someone to talk about it with, I guess is a big part of it too. We're also kind of a mediator. I guess you could say. We're that middle person that just kind of comes in to help and to assist in smoothing the transition in whatever way that they are able to. Hey guys, I just wanted to interject into this video because as I was editing it, I realized that I forgot to mention a very important part of it, which is the fact that a death midwife deals with the dead body. Well, not only are we a support and a Rolodex, but we are also hands-on. Now, how hands-on we are varies by state. That here in the States, each state has rules that vary around the care of a dead body and what needs to be done and what can't be done legally at all. Some states, you can't touch them. Other states, you could stick them in the back of your uncle's wagon and ride around with them. And it doesn't, not that I recommend that. I do not. Don't do that. But what I'm saying is that there's a very wide array of what can and can't be done. And it's up to the death midwife to be fully aware of those rules so that they can obviously have themselves safe, but also those around them. So we actually deal with the dead body. We are facilitators of home funerals. We are taught how to bathe, cleanse, bless, care for the body to maximize its lifespan, if you will, so that you can have that home vigil, that home funeral with them, and people can come and pay their respects and kind of have time to process and get the closure that they need around this event happening. So that's another part that's very important for it that I left out, and I wanted to make sure I drove that part home too. So, on to the video. Okay, so we are non-denominational as well. So it doesn't really matter what our religion is, if we even have one a lot of times. It's about that client. It's about that person, that friend who's dying, and what they want done. A lot of people who tend to want a death midwife are generally in newer age, or they're even just like really old school, like maybe they're much older and they remember a time where we buried our own dead. But that's a whole other video. In the meantime, if you are interested in morbid things such as this, I highly recommend the Order of the Good Death, Caitlin Dowdy's YouTube on here, because there's a lot of stuff in terms of funerary rites and burial rites and possibilities and stories and history that she talks about on there, which I always find fascinating. I love her. And I love what she's doing for the death positive movement. And when I say that, I don't mean hurry up and die. I mean, as much as we are celebrated when we are born, we should be celebrated for a life well lived when we die. If we are the universe experiencing it itself, which I tend to believe that, then why aren't we celebrating it? I know there's a lot of pain that comes with it, but there's also a lot of pain that comes with birth too. So, I feel like it's a milestone that we're missing out on in a lot of ways, because it's coming regardless. That's the one guarantee. Death will come to us all. And that sounds really sad and morbid, but it's a fact. That is what a death midwife is. Any questions that you have, anything like that I am able to direct you to or talk about. Obviously, I can't like teach a class on this or anything. I can direct you to my teacher and the classes that she teaches. I would love to do that. Just message me and let me know, and I'll show you. All right. So I love your faces. I hope you guys are having a wonderful 2017. Bye, guys.